Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Become Great podcast with your hosts, Ahab Al-Hindi and Dan Beaver. So Ahab.
What's up, man?
The Become Great podcast.
Yes.
So Become Great, I know it's a whole acronym. It's a whole acronym system that you set up and everything, right?
Yeah.
And B, so this episode, we're going to focus on B, the believe part, right?
Yeah.
Now, man, I know from you are huge on the belief front, just like from everything I knew about you. Heck, just our most recent Champions event.
Yeah.
You went deep, you went heavy on the belief front, man.
Yeah.
So believe in your whole acronym, Become Great, right?
Yeah.
It's believe in yourself, but it's also believe in the person next to you as well.
That's right.
So why are our beliefs important?
Yeah, I think, I learned over the years that one, if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will, right? And so, in a lot of the belief that people end up giving you, whether you're in leadership or just in life, they kind of feed off of the belief you have in yourself, right? And so some people overly believe themselves above their own ability, and those people are seen as arrogant or cocky. But there's people who believe in themselves, and it doesn't come off that way, right? Like it's like, oh, there's a level of confidence in who they are. Yeah. My goal as a leader is to believe in the people that serve me at the highest possible level. And so a lot of that looks like looking for who they are meant to be, not who they are today.
Who they are meant to be, not who they are today.
Yeah.
So how do you develop into training yourself to think that way? Because that's not simple for a lot of people, to think that way.
No, totally. Like, for instance, I remember John Maxwell was talking about a gold miner in South America. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about how this gold miner, every mountain he ever dug into, he found gold. And he interviewed him one day and said, hey, why is it that every mountain you look at, you find gold? And he's like, well, every mountain has gold. You just have to know how to look for it. And so there's gold in every person.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I believe is everyone is significant. There's not an insignificant person. That's a personal belief of mine.
Totally.
Right. So you're significant. The people watching this they're significant. Their life has meaning.
Absolutely.
Like God has designed everybody with a purpose. And then my job as their leader is to help them align themselves with whatever that purpose is.
Okay. And how do people that you see them and you believe in them, right?
Yeah.
And that's one thing, but then it's a whole different thing to get them to believe in themselves as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I was just about to say, how do you kind of close that bridge?
What I've discovered, if someone values you as a leader and they value you in their life, right? So that requires a gambit of things. You have to care about that person. You have to sow into that person. You have to develop them, right? So if they feel valued by you, then your belief in them becomes valuable to them, and they'll actually rise up to the level of belief you have in them.
Okay, so first you have to demonstrate that you value them in some form or fashion, right? So clearly, like, you can't just come out the gate and just say, "Hey, I value you," right? Like that's just, you meet someone for the first time. Like,
I do orientation in my business, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the things I tell them is, I already believe in you, and I'm borrowing my hiring manager, Martha or Mark or whoever, I'm borrowing their belief in you because they know how valuable this business is to me. And they understand that the people that we bring into our business are incredibly important to me and that they have to line up. So I'm borrowing their belief in you, and I want you to know that I believe in you, that you're meant to be here, and that you're worth developing and sowing into. And so sometimes we borrow belief from other people.
Borrow belief. Can you kind of expand on what you mean by that?
Like if I meet you and you tell me you have a girlfriend, right? And you are in love and you care about her deeply, right? I'm going to borrow your belief and I'm going to assume that she's fantastic.
I see.
Right?
Okay. Yep.
Because I believe in you and you have a high quality of life, high standard for your life. Why would you align yourself with someone who has a lower standard of life? And then I will allow them to prove me right or wrong.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
The hardest part about believing in people is not the person. It's the selection process.
The selection process. Now, I'm curious about that because you said there is technically gold in every single person.
Yeah.
So couldn't you therefore select every person? And
I think it's the time that someone comes into your world. That timing is really important.
Okay.
So for me, I'm not running like a drug rehab facility. If I was, I would have a high level belief for that person's destiny, right? At where they are as an early recovery process.
Yeah.
Right? I am running a business. And so the people that are coming into my business, I'm not going to select someone who is in recovery like I would if I was doing the drug rehab facility. So the timing of where that person is in their life, in their development, is really important to where I select them and bring them into my world.
So it's the time, when you say timing, it's in their life and their overall personal development.
Overall, they have to be ready for development. Not everybody's ready.
That you got that right.
So I love to select people into my world who are ready for development. So one of the top things I'm looking for in people is teachability.
Ooh, is that just in general or just when it comes down to hiring a person?
In my life in general.
Okay.
Right? Like, one of the things I try to teach my children is teachability. Like where, I'm giving my son some instruction, like, hey, when you're cooking the eggs, make sure you're constantly stirring it. I know. Actually, you didn't know that before I said it. So it's better to say, yes, sir, or thank you, dad, or anything but I know, because you didn't know it. You sound arrogant when you say, I know. That's just something I'm teaching my kids, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yes, sir. Thank you, dad. Any of those are appropriate. But I know, you're actually dabbling in a premature arrogance or premature confidence, right? Like that's just, you're not there. You didn't actually know that information.
Yeah, that's exactly. And I'm glad you touch upon that, because you also mentioned at the very beginning that people toe a fine line when it comes down to belief, right? There's a belief in yourself, just a confidence, there's a cockiness aspect, right? Arrogance and cockiness. Yeah. There's also just a self-assured belief, confidence as well. And for a lot of people, it's hard to discern between the two. So how can people cross over from that? Because people say, fake it till you make it, right? Kind of deal. Over into, no, like I want to be really assured and believe in myself. Like how do people do that?
Like most of us, our confidence comes from experience, right? So when someone has confidence but doesn't have experience, it's actually their insecurity that's showing up. It's a defense mechanism.
Oh, the defense mechanism is the cockiness and the arrogance.
Yeah, they're trying to actually protect themselves because they're aware of their lack of experience, right?
Yeah.
And they're not intentionally doing this. This is how I've made it before. This is how I've survived before. Yep. Let me do it this way.
Gosh.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's a lot of the times when someone is showing that they're really, really, grandiose, or they're peacocking around with their chest poking out and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's because they don't have experience and it helps them feel more comfortable in that environment. But how much better is it to come into that environment and humbly go, I actually don't know. Could you show me?
That's good. So how can a person keep their belief in themselves, knowing like, hey, I'm in a completely new environment.
Yeah.
I really don't know what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a thing called imposter syndrome, right?
Totally.
Like as well, when you go into somewhere and you're like, some people take the other direction, like you may know some stuff. Now you're just second guessing yourself all over the place.
Yeah, totally.
So like, how do you still maintain the confidence in yourself, knowing that, okay, whatever comes my way, I can handle this, but still keeping that same kind of humility to be like, but I know I don't know everything and I should be okay to reach out for help.
Their belief isn't in their experience. Their belief, well, it is, but it's not in the current experience of that task. Their belief is in their past experience of, I've overcome things before. I've learned things before. And so when I'm trying something new, like 4 years ago, I started hunting, right? I would be with my friends, and at first I would try to act like I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like I know exactly what this bow is and what it does, and then it was embarrassing because inside I felt like a poser, right? And then I shifted to humility. And I'm like, hey, I don't know what this does. Can you show me what that does? What am I supposed to do in this scenario?
Yeah.
Why is this a good deer to hunt, and why is that one bad? Oh, that one's too young. If you kill it, it's a very young, even though it looks like it's good, it doesn't have a lot of meat on its body. It might have nice horns, but you want to save that for maybe when it's 4 or 5 years old. How do I identify a 5-year-old versus a 2-year-old? And then I became curious, and I started learning, and now I actually am confident when I go hunting, where I probably would still be that poser mentality if I hadn't humbled myself and just learned from people who know what they're doing.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so my ability to believe in myself and my ability to learn,
Yeah.
right,
Yep.
allows me to still keep a posture of confidence in an area where I'm actually weak.
Oh, and so it's the ability to believe in yourself, not just from past experiences. That's nice if you have it for the current task.
Yeah.
But it's also the ability to learn and figure things out, and just know that you can manage this one way or another as long as you keep yourself humble.
Yeah.
And like, just know that, hey, we've done this. We've learned things before. I can learn this as well. I can trust the people around me also to learn from them.
Yeah. And humility is way more attractive than arrogance.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
As a leader, I would rather develop a humble person than an arrogant person.
Yeah.
Because then with the arrogant person, everything's, I know, 100%. Yeah.
Of course.
And you're just like, dude, I don't think you're hearing anything I'm saying. No. And I feel like I'm wasting my breath.
Yeah.
And so as somebody who wants to develop people, my time with that person is so valuable to me. And if someone else isn't placing the same level of value for it, I don't want to spend that time with them.
Clearly.
Because if my time is investment, right? And I'm spending it on an investment,
the person,
and I don't feel like I'm going to get a return for that investment, I know better than to continue to invest there.
I see. That's the timing aspect. When you said like there's golden every person, but the timing is key. If a person demonstrates that, the timing is not right for you to work with that person.
It's just so important, like wherever we are in our development. Some of us are more advanced. I still feel like I'm in my early years of development, even at 45, right? But I know that God has a plan for my life. Absolutely. And so I want to stay humble, and I want to stay hungry, and I want to stay teachable. And so those things keep me in a position where I'm constantly learning, constantly growing. And then my belief in myself remains high, where like, yes, I'm not great at everything, but I'm pretty good at a few things. But I want to continue to grow my experience, and it keeps me believing in myself. Because the worst thing you can do for your belief is to stop growing.
Yeah, I believe that. Like, and so how can people make sure that they continue to grow always?
Yeah, your growing process is perpetual, right? I've heard it said that the only difference between the person you are today and the person you are in 5 years are the people you meet and the books that you read, right? And I think it's super important to make new connections and try to connect upward with people who are more successful than you, right? And then the second thing is I always want to be reading something that challenges me, whether it's a leadership book, a business book, a personal development book. I read the Bible every day. Like I want to read something that challenges me, that helps me grow as a man, helps me grow as a husband, as a father, as a business leader, as a mentor to many young people. And so if I'm not challenging myself, what I've discovered is people also around me who are following me, they won't challenge themselves.
Wow. Okay. So you model it, you demonstrate it, like, and it's not like, I'm assuming it's not like you're putting it on blast that you're doing this, right?
I'm not shy about what I do.
Okay.
So if I work out, I talk about it. But if I talk about working out and I'm 32% body fat, not a lot of people are listening to me.
That's fair.
They tone me out. Right?
That's fair.
But I'm 9% body fat. And so I talk about working out, they go, well, this guy might have something to share about this topic, right?
Yeah.
And I have a belief in me where, I used to be 340 pounds and now I'm not. And I'm 235 pounds and I'm, at a great body fat percentage. And so I have a belief that I can overcome really hard things.
Yes.
That's something I believe. And I didn't necessarily believe it before I overcame hard things, but I had to use old hard things, smaller hard things, to as stepping stones to when I was overcoming really hard things.
You use that prior experience from the smaller hard things to be like, okay, there's this massive hard thing in front of me. You know what? Those old things, they may not be as big as this, but you know what? I've gone through hard before. This is hard.
Yeah.
I can probably pull this off.
Most people will, and this is unfortunate, most people will disregard things of their past because they were failures, right? And they will say, oh, they'll look at their past with a lens of like, I failed so many times.
Yeah.
But you're still breathing, right? And you've overcome so many things, and now you're here. Like, why not use your story as actually a tool to encourage yourself to move forward? Like I was sharing with some high school kids today. My family immigrated to this country. I grew up in an Arabic speaking home. I didn't read well. I was really poor I didn't do well in school. English, for the most part, wasn't like great. My mom spoke broken English. My dad spoke broken English, and it wasn't like the easiest to grow up with that lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
And so as an adult, I still said, I'm not organized. I don't read well. I had all these descriptives about myself. And today my wife talks to me like, she goes, I'm not as organized as you. And I'm like, that is a learned behavior.
I see. You learned from just your history, your past and everything.
Yeah. It's a learned behavior. I've learned to be organized.
Mm-hmm.
I had to believe in myself at a high level that, okay, I was organized in this. I was able to be organized in that.
Yep.
And I'm like, maybe I am organized. But I've been telling myself that I'm not organized so long that I believed I wasn't organized. And so I didn't even work on it anymore.
Wow. So even if you demonstrated in real life, like you actually are organized, what you're saying is your personal belief, regardless of what you've done before, even successfully, your personal belief will completely negate your success in that thing.
Totally.
Okay. Wow. So therefore, when it comes down to beliefs, it seems like that's the first step you need to have before you can even successfully implement the right proper action.
Yeah. If what you believe is more important than what you do, because it'll actually produce what you do. So if you believe that you're not organized, then you won't be organized. But even if you have a disorganized experience and you believed that you were organized, you will become organized.
Just from the pure belief.
Yeah, because your body, your spirit, your mind will follow your beliefs. You just have to change the way you believe, and then you'll change what you do.
Wow. I think, so you change what you believe, you change what you do.
Yeah.
And I remember you talking about expectations as well, changing that as well.
Yeah.
And what was that that you mentioned?
Yeah, if you change your beliefs, you'll change your expectations. If you change your expectations, you'll change your outcomes.
Dang. It all comes down to belief first before everything flows on out.
Yeah.
And so I know we got to wrap this up, but can you touch real quickly on, let's say if people are in an environment that just drains them of belief, right? Like some people are not lucky enough to be under leadership who even believes in them, right? How do people cultivate their own belief or just navigate those environments when they either don't have leadership or just the environment in general it just drains them of any kind of belief or hope?
Yeah, I think there's a choice that everybody gets to make, right? We can be the thermostat or we can be the thermometer, right? Mm-hmm. We can be we can say, oh, it's chilly in here, or we can change the temperature in the environment. A lot of the core values that we're going to go over in Become Great is going to tell you how to do some of that, right? Through encouragement, through communication, through owning your environment, through the way you manage yourself, the way you enhance the environment. A lot of that is going to come through the Become Great podcast. We're going to share a lot on that because I can't, giving a 30-second answer isn't going to do it. But there is things in yourself that you can become that will actually inspire other people to join you in that journey.
Okay, gotcha. So essentially, you got to become the thermostat, right? The thermometer just takes the temperature of what currently is the environment.
Yep.
The thermostat changes the environment.
Changes the environment.
Change the environment. Gotcha. Okay. In that case, all right. Well, we're going to be unpacking that in the episodes going forward. Let's do this.
Yeah, man.
So on that note, I think it's a great place to end. So, folks, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. If you got anything out of this podcast together, we highly recommend. We would love it if you could please like, subscribe, comment on this. It would really mean a lot to us. And remember, you too can become great. Take care.
Bye, guys.